live for y'all. Got on my pajamas today. Not working out or anything. Just going to do this live and cut this off in the background. I was watching Chris Hansen. Yeah, today I'm going to do a quick live responding to a comment a dude made on my page, which was an interesting comment, and I'm just going to say pause in advance. But it's something I thought about, but I don't think I ever made a video about it. So I think I want to make a video about it now because it's super interesting. And it's something that's worth discussing. Like, it really is. So, the person's name is the King or hyphen TZ6, the King. We'll just call him the King. I'm not going through all of it. He says, dude, I don't know how to say this without coming across as suspect. You can just say pause. That's what it's for. When you say pause, it's not suspect. 90% of the time you say pause, it's not suspect. Yeah, just say pause. But you don't realize that you are gifted with being born with a big you know what. The majority of us the majority of us will never be able to satisfy a woman due to us being born with average sized Johnsons. I know it sounds silly, but it's the truth. The majority of women have experienced guys like you. Hold on, I gotta expand. Pause. And they would never even look to us. We aren't incels, but we choose to be. We're incels because the marketplace is that tough. Let me respond to this one with full clarity. And everybody needs to watch this video right here that knows me, because I don't think I ever spoke on this topic, and I think it's really important. I travel a lot, as you guys know, and I talk to a lot of different girls. So there's two major things I want to talk about here that'll probably surprise somebody. First of all, this dude said, you're gifted with having a big you know what. It's not as good as you think it is. Like, it's not. It's not that much of a now, first of all, mine isn't that gigantic. I don't even have to freaking give the measurements. Most of you have seen it, pause, but it's definitely larger than average. Like, that's without saying, especially on the thick side, the girth side. It's definitely larger than average, right? Length is longer than average, but the girth is really what it's kind of known for. So, like, in a lot of my cutie videos with these petite Asian girls, it's like torture. It's like, damn. Like, you see these Asian girls who are like 100 pounds, but they deal with it. But there's downsides to it. Even my own wife would prefer that my stuff was smaller. And it doesn't bother me that much because it's much better than having a small one mentally. But there are downsides to it. And that's what my own wife would prefer if it were smaller. My own wife. That's crazy, right? But it even messes with... Now, the first time, usually no. But they've been some times where I was on a date with a girl, and it was time for it to go down, and once we were getting there, she looked at it, she's like, oh no, I'm not doing this. And she would just walk off. She would just like put her clothes on or try a little bit and be like, no, and just leave. Let's just say I know this this exotic dancer. I'm gonna call him dancer. I know this dancer, and I was just talking to her yesterday. You guys might see her. We might make content. This girl is extremely gorgeous to me. Like, extremely gorgeous to me. Like, extremely. And when I first saw her, I was just like, I call her Superwoman. Let's call her Superwoman. Like, she's extremely gorgeous. She's cute. Body is crazy. Latina, all natural. And, you know, we had a date, whatever. And then after that, I was like, you know, when are we going to meet again? I'm looking to... Because it wasn't a date like I'm trying to get to know her or something. It was a meeting because, of course, I wanted to give her an interview to do videos with me. And during the meeting, you know, it's like an audition kind of. And I was like, all right, let's plan on doing this and that, whatever. And she goes, I can't. Your stuff is too big. And plus, I'm going back to my country in 2 days, and your stuff is too big. I don't want to deal with that again. It hurt. And I'm like, holy crap, is she serious? And like, I was really looking forward to filming with her. But luckily for me, she came back from her home country, I think it was this week, and I saw her yesterday, and we spoke it over, and I think she's willing to give it a shot. Those are going to be great videos. But that's the downside, because out of all the girls I've met here and talked business with, there's two that stick out in my mind. It's her, Superwoman 1 and Superwoman 2. Superwoman 2 is not here right now. She's in her country. But these two specifically are like, they just blow my mind all around. Just incredible. Superwoman 2 is fine with it, but Superwoman 1 is fine with it now, but she actually rejected meeting me again and working with me because of the size of it. So there are downsides. There's 100% downsides. And I know people don't see that part, but I'm not saying feel sorry for me or some shit. But I'm just saying there are downsides, especially depending on what country you're in and what region of the world you're in. When you're in Asia, you know, a lot of people think things like, it's so hard to speak about racially sensitive topics with Black Americans because they're the most sensitive in the goddamn world. You can't say anything to them. Like, if it doesn't align with their emotions. But anyway, let me explain something to you. In Asia, and this is more about the downsides. In Asia, there's a lot of places you can go, like a lot of bars you can go to, whatever. And you can meet girls, you can date them, whatever the hell. And two things about it. A lot of those girls avoid black guys, not just because they're black or something, like I don't like black people. It's because they're afraid they have Big Johnsons. How do I know this? The first time this happened to me, there was this really cute, petite girl working at this one bar. Like, but she didn't want to film. I was trying to convince her. That's the only reason I meet a girl is to do some business with her, but she didn't want to film. But wow, she would have been amazing. Anyway, she was able to handle it, but she was screaming and all this stuff. She ends up telling all the other girls in the bar about her experience. She tells them all. Next time I go to the bar, you know, we're drinking and stuff. I'm like, all right, I want to spend, like, I go to another girl. I want to spend time with you. And they're like, no, we heard about you. No, we drink, but that's it. No. And, like, the whole bar was doing this. Like, all the girls, like, no, we're not going home with you. No, you're too big. And they're just going off. I'm like, damn. So I figured out throughout most parts of Asia, they're the least liking of large Johnsons. And I think Asian girls are great for business. They're very cute, very clean. But there's downsides, right? So that's number one. There's downsides. There's definitely downsides. Now, then again, I want to say it again. I'm not asking for like, oh my God, hold my hand and feel sorry for me. I'm just telling you, there are downsides, bro. 100%. How the fuck you got in shape so fast? You were chubby just a few months. It wasn't a few months ago, dude. It was... But you're right. It was maybe a year. I started training maybe a year, 8 months ago. It wasn't that fast. But yeah, I remember when I was fat. I was 205. Now I'm 185. I lost, 20 pounds, right? Yeah, 20 pounds, 8 kilograms. Yeah, time flies, man. I'm 40 now, too. At that time, I think I was 38. But anyway, now to the other part. Something interesting he said. He said, the majority of us will never be able to satisfy a woman due to us being born with average-sized Johnsons. I know it sounds silly, but it's the truth. The majority of women have experienced guys like you, and they would never even look to us. We aren't incels by choice. We aren't incels because we choose to be. We're incels because the marketplace is that tough. No. And I'll tell you why I disagree with that and why that's completely false. You can satisfy a woman with an average, even smaller than average penis. You absolutely can. Of course, there's going to be some exceptions, but on average, you absolutely can. That's ridiculous. I think some of you really live in the YouTube space. You don't go out and socialize much. Because I socialize with women all around the world very, very often, as you can tell from my videos. We got to socialize before we film anything. And what you're saying is absolutely not true. It's absolutely not true. Like, it's crazy. Now, average size may differ depending on what part of the world you're in. That's true. What's considered average may differ. Depends on where you are. But you absolutely are incorrect on that. And if you have an average size Johnson, there's nothing negative about having an average size Johnson, in my opinion. Maybe some girls will like, but that's with anything. Like, let's say you're 6 feet tall, and you're in America. That's like average height or a little tall or whatever, but that's a decent height. Anyone could say, oh my God, I'm 6 feet tall. It sucks. I'm trying to get in the NBA, but no, this is really short for the NBA. Like, you can find something negative in anything, but in general, who cares about being 6 feet tall? That's a great height. Having an average penis is fine. Like, there's really nothing wrong with it unless you're talking some porn star or some professional sex worker. No one's really going to care that, you know, your your Johnson's average. No one cares. Like, really, I'm telling you. On average, they're not going to care. So it's not true. And you can satisfy the average woman with an average size Johnson. Absolutely. Like, I think you guys watch too much OnlyFans or something, because that's just not true at all. Um, it sounds silly but true. Majority of women who experience guys like you, they'll never even look at us. How would they even know if you have an average size Johnson? I guess you mean after the first time they sleep with you? That's possible, but from my experiences, it's not so much the size of the penis, as long as it's not too small, and I'm gonna get to that, because that's a completely different topic. As long as it's not too small, but it's more about what the man does with it. That really means more than anything. What the man does with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's really more about what you do, not just what you have. So he goes, we aren't incels because we choose to be. We're incels because the marketplace is that tough. Sure, in the States, the marketplace is very tough. It is tough as hell. But the truth is, you can raise your value. And the question is, are you raising your value like you're supposed to be? So a lot of guys are stuck in the marketplace because they don't want to put in the work. They're stuck at the bottom of the marketplace complaining, and it's their fault because they don't want to put in the work to raise their value in the marketplace. That's not our fault. You know what I mean? Guys who have value, that's not their fault. So, you gotta raise your value. It's not about your penis size. Pause. It's definitely not. Now to too small though, before I get out of here. Yeah, that's a different topic. Cause alright, let me get on this one. Now the thing about having a small Johnson, I ain't gonna lie, that must suck balls. I don't know what that's like. I'd rather be short like I am in real life than have a small penis. And I'll tell you why. I remember talking to my ex, and I think now she lives in Turkey, and she's a very attractive Russian girl who looks like a Brazilian. She has like the brownish skin, the long dark hair, big ass, big tits. She's in the Patreon. You guys can go see her. I don't have to, like, a lot of things I talk about is on video, so I ain't gotta try to prove nothing. You can go see her there. Very curvy, gorgeous girl. I remember she told me this story about she was out drinking in Turkey. She met a guy. She took him home. They're kissing and stuff, whatever. She takes his clothes off. She looks at his shit, like his Johnson, and she starts laughing, and she ends up leaving. I can tell you this right now. If something like, because he was a big guy, he was like 6'5", all this stuff, and then she looks at it, and she's like, my hand was able to cover the whole thing. I was like, wow. And she walked out, started laughing first, and then just left. If something like that happens to the average man, I can understand the anger and burn that would come with. And a lot of these guys out here with all this anger, they do have small D energy. And I don't think a man is made by the size of his D. But a lot of these dudes who get mad for no reason, and even dudes in the gym who take all this testosterone and stuff some of it is small D energy. And small D energy is real. Like, I'm not even trying to be, it's like short man complex. I'm 5'8", but I don't have the short man complex. But that shit is real. Like, if you say something to the average short dude, especially one with this complex, like, I'll slap anybody in this train station. The short dude usually first like, what, you're going to slap me to show he's tough. And he's not a pussy because he's small. I don't have that. I'll call the cops on your ass. Like, he's threatening me. I don't give a damn. But I don't know if it's worse, but I would guess it's similar to having a small D. Especially when you looked at it as a big guy. Because logically, girls will equate your large size to possibly having a large Johnson. And when they see it's the opposite, it's like, and if you even sense from them that she has a negative reaction to your Johnson, that's going to hurt in here. I can only imagine. That's going to hurt. But you see I'm 5'8" on day one. But if my shit is like 3 inches, that's after dates and that must burn right here. And Shout out to all of you with small D's who keeping your head up, but I'm not even joking. That has to burn. But then again, if you're doing your thing, you got money, you got a good career going, she'll live with it. She'll live with it. She'll probably cheat on you. The odds of her cheating on you with someone with an average or large one is like higher than usual. But if you manage to please her with it, then you're all good. I mean, there are dudes that are 5'3". It doesn't matter about there are people that are 5'3". There are people who are 3'5". But the point is, I'm short on average compared to the average, like European. Like when I go to Asia, I blend in. Here in Latin America, I blend in. Like height wise, I blend in. You don't even notice. But in Russia, I'm short. In the States, I'm short. In Europe, I'm short. I'm sure parts of Africa, I'm short. But here, I just blend in. My height isn't an issue at all. Like not even a little bit. Like no one, there's not one girl who ever says something like, "Oh, you're short," or not. You're like you won't hear that here. In order to hear that here, you got to be maybe 5'4" or something, because you're not going to look short here. Same thing in most parts of Asia. Most parts of it. Northern parts of Asia, they're a little taller. But if you're like a 5'7", 5'8", 5'9" guy and you feel short in the States, and you want to get that leg surgery, don't. Just travel somewhere else where most people aren't even 6 feet. And that's here. And most of South America. Except for the tallest part of South America, though, is definitely Argentina. Because Argentina is mostly European. And there's like no black people. Like, god damn, when I was living in Cordoba. But yeah, they weren't even that tall in Argentina. Sure, they're taller than average, but maybe I was a little short in Argentina, but they didn't seem that tall in Argentina either. Russia, they're tall. Russia, those dudes are just tall, and they're usually big for no damn reason. Yeah, I remember everywhere I've been in Europe, they're pretty tall. It's just in South America, no, I don't notice. And in most of Asia, no, I don't notice. I don't notice at all. But when it comes to penis size, that's different. You can usually tell by the condoms they sell. You can tell by the condoms they sell. That's the first hint. When you're trying on the common condoms, like, and I'm like, what the is this? Like you, you learn quick fast. Not many countries bother with magnums. If you're in a country where they don't sell magnums, your penis blends in. If you're in a country where magnums are the top sellers, you might get dwarfed by the other guys. But yeah, I guess that's all I really want to say. It was a good comment. Pause. It's a good comment. I'm gonna ask my wife for breakfast. Then I'm gonna take a nap. I need to nap before working out. Oh, did I get a text? Oh, that's me. I want to take a nap before working out. Definitely want to take a nap. What is on the floor? Oh, my hat's on the floor. Whatever. All right, hold up. Gotta download this. All right, let's see. And if you guys got any comments or questions, you can write it now before I get out of here. Okay, let's see. Create one story. Alright, let's see. Alright. Doing some things on my phone. I'm 6'1" and fine with it. Yeah, Mook. You know what's crazy, Mook? I saw your last video. Looked like you either been working out or you just been working out. I don't know how else to put it. But you definitely look bigger than... You look more masculine than the last time you spoke. 100%. Let's see. Now I gotta do it on WhatsApp. Okay, hold on, just updating my WhatsApp. While if you guys have any comments, you can just throw it there. Okay, so yeah, that's really it. So in short, I would say having a small penis could be a big problem. And if you do have one, my advice is you really gotta step your game up in every other category of a man that could help you to impress women. You got to step it up in every other one. Because you know what sucks? And let me say this. And this is fucked up. I definitely don't like this. This is really messed up. I'm sure, and I've seen this on YouTube, but I'm sure this happens a lot because a lot of women, especially in America, when they argue with you, they want to hurt you. Like they like I remember Shaq once said, never tell your woman, even your wife, your vulnerabilities. Because one day arguing, she's going to throw it in your face. Which is probably true. I don't have to worry about that. But I guess a lot of American women do that. You will hear them say in the middle of an argument in front of other people, that's why you got a small dick. Now that's going too far. That's messed up. That's crazy messed up. To me, there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back. But you want to know something? Pause this. Pause this. Two of my favorite adult actors have small ones. Like, like my probably my favorite of all time. He doesn't make it anymore, but his name was Bronson 345. Um, he's a white guy who smashes nothing but Paul grannies. His stuff was like normal size or small. One of my favorite, and the other guy, I really like. He's like a nerd. He's like this Jewish nerdy guy, and his stuff is called like Private Society, and like Smash the Nerd, something like that. His stuff is small, and not he sleeps with thousands of girls on camera. So, I mean, I'm sure those are rarities, but still, it's possible. You just got to really work at it. But yeah, having a small Johnson could suck. Like, I understand. I understand having a small Johnson could suck. It's like being short sucks. Like if I were 6'3", well, it doesn't matter here, but like in America or something. If I was 6'3" or taller, I would have way more options. Way more. Even here, I would have more options of girls to work with, but it's not really something they look for here. Like in Latin America, they're not looking for 6'3", 6'2". They don't really give a damn. They're like, are you fat, or do you take care of yourself, stuff like that. That's what they generally look for. They're not looking for tall. Like in America, it's a 6 feet rule kind of thing, but it's not like that in most parts of the world. So if you want to go somewhere, I don't know, is it still I thought it was Cambodia, and I've been there, but I didn't really notice because they're all short, most parts of South Asia. But let me see something. Which country has the shortest men? I thought it was Cambodia. Let me see. East Timor, Southeast Asia, East Timor, Yemen, Madagascar. So those are three. It says Timor-Leste, about 5'3" on average. Yemen, about 5'4". Laos, I've been to Laos. Yeah, Laos are not very tall, but they don't play in Laos. Laos is a very strict place. They don't play in Laos. And Madagascar. So most of that, well, half of it is Southeast Asia. Yemen's Middle East, Madagascar, I think that's Africa. So yeah, you can go there. I don't know if I can ask which has the smallest penis. It's based on somebody's comments. I didn't just pick pickles at random. I like how you said pickles. It's dude's comment he made on one of my videos yesterday. So I just replied to it. And I'll just read the comment one more time for those of you who didn't hear it. He just said, dude, I don't know how to say this without coming across. I don't have to read it again. You gotta check out the live. So that's really it. It's only 2 people in here. Did you see my Puffy Combs comment? I hate watching scenes with dudes with small. I'm looking for Puffy Combs. You don't want to be too big or too small. That's true. Shake my head, it might hurt women. That's true. I don't see no Puffy Combs comment. I'm sure they blocked it. And what's crazy is, if your Puffy Combs comment got blocked, I mean, you're saying some real outlandish shit, because I said it yesterday to all comments to show me all of them. So if yours got blocked, you definitely said something outlandish. Because now it's showing me almost like everything. Like even some people kind of using baddish words, it's just showing. But yours got blocked, that means you said something wild. Like I don't even think you can use the word pog. You can't use the word pog here. They'll block that. You got to spell things with numbers and shit if it seems like a bad word. Freak off, I think. Yeah, you can't say, you definitely can't say freak off. You cannot. Anything that seems sexual, like the word orgy or something, you can't do that. This is YouTube, people. They're trying to really keep it kid-friendly as possible. Like, it's YouTube, so. I don't know. Anything else you guys got to say about this topic? Just let me know. If not, I can just head on. They said Puffy got a baby thing. Oh, I don't know. I'm not worried about. I don't give a damn about his baby thing. I'm trying to smash like. Almost said I'm trying to smash like him. Let me take that back. I'm trying to be on a level of smashing amazing women legally like him. Amazing celebrity women legally. Not trying to baby oil someone like that. Nothing like that. What the hell is this? Oh, okay, whatever. Oh, Good thing can't see. So my video ended, like the streak ended at 47,000 likes in 3 days. 47,000 likes. That is absolutely insane. That's why he does them parties. I guess it would make sense. Watch her get pleased by a man with a large pickle. I guess it would make sense. I don't know. Okay, let me see. Let me check my phone. Why am I not charging my phone? Did I ask my love face to make me breakfast, or did I forget? Let me see. Hi, love. Can I have breakfast now? I'm gonna eat and try to rest. Okay, now I told her. I forgot to mention it like an idiot. It would have been ready by now. See a new video I did clearing up things with you getting robbed? Nah, dude, I'm not gonna watch it. It's not personal about me getting robbed. It's about your mentality. Like, if you call a civilian a snitch, yeah, that's your mentality. You keep that over there. Like, there's nothing you can say to justify calling a civilian a snitch. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, it's literally fucking dumb. And the problem isn't that it's just dumb and stupid. It's literally dangerous, and why people don't want to live around black people in the first place. You're telling me a person who goes to school, has a job, minding his business, if he gets robbed, he has to go fight somebody or shoot somebody to get his stuff back instead of calling the police, staying free and having a prosperous middle class life? Yeah, I stay away from people like that. I never said you were a snitch. You did say it, dude. What do you mean? Everyone in the group saw it. Everyone in the group saw it and say you were a snitch. And it's not even about me personally. That's what you're not understanding. It's the mentality. You literally, let's say you didn't say it was about me. You literally said, but on this part, the person's a snitch. On the other part, the person's, they're being bad to him because he's black. One's worse than the other. Even if the average civilian is a snitch for telling the police that they got robbed, I stay away from that mentality. That's the kind of ignorant shit that helps lead to bad communities, people killing each other, not telling the police. 7-month-old baby gets shot and no one said anything? That's fucking crazy. Yes, I told them. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I felt like they had a motive, not saying it was justified. That's not a motive, dumbass. If I'm walking down the street wearing blue sneakers and you're blood and you attack me because I have blue sneakers, that's a fucking motive? That's the ghetto mentality people need to stay away from. There's no logic in that. The fuck you mean it's a motive? It's not a motive. A motive has to be something that's actually, has to be something that at least makes a little bit of sense. Some kind of provocation or some kind of disagreement. Maybe almost got in a car crash, or maybe we're arguing over a girl. You can't just look at somebody and say, oh, I'm having a bad day. That person has braids. Here's a motive. That's not a fucking motive. You're the one starting shit for no fucking reason. Like, you can't throw any logic at that. Like, you and this other dude I know, who did something that, and I wish either one of you could find logic in what you did, but there is no logic behind it. It's pure ignorance. I have a dude, and there's no disagreement over this story either, and I always try to find, maybe he did something right. Like, maybe I'm exaggerating, because he was such a cool dude. I was trying to get this girl with big boobs to work with me. She's in the Patreon. Her name is Bus Lady. She decides to work with me. And I said, all right, look, before we work together, I need to see a video of you topless so I can see how they actually look. And this is before we even slept together. She sends me the video, and I'm like, all right, this is cool. I send the video to my friends group, right? In Telegram, closed group. I send it to them. I'm like, all right, cool, guys, check this video out. What do you guys think? Does she look good? She sent me her boobs. We're going to start working together. So she's going to make more of those videos, and she's going to get paid, which she did. A friend of mine from there, Andre, sent that video to someone else that we know. We call him Superman. We'll just call him Superman, because sometimes he gets into shape and stuff. He's a really smart guy, and he wears glasses. Superman then decides to send that video to her. Why? She comes back to me and she goes, wow, I had this video. He just sent it to me. Why? Blah, blah, blah. And of course, she was a little bit upset. I'm like, well, you're about to be on the internet anyway. I just sent it to my friends to see what they think. And it wasn't a big deal. She came over the next day. We filmed. There were plenty of those videos, and we still have them all over the internet. But the fact that he sent it to her, I can never forget that. And there's no logic behind it. The only way I could see for him doing something like that is like, that was his best friend or something. He met her through me. So he went behind my back and sent it to the girl. Now, I'm not saying what he did was bad in general, but friendship wise, I can't find a reason to ever hang out with that dude. He can't be trusted. He sent the video to the girl, and it's not like something that was meant to be secret. Like, I'm sending you this video, send it to anybody. She's literally doing an audition to make videos for the internet. So me putting her stuff out there isn't against what she wanted. I'm going to do that anyway. But the fact that he sent it to her, it's just like, why would you do that? Like, that just pissed me off. So, like I said, she still has topic content all over my Patreon. She signed the contract, made lots of videos, but he sent it to her as if like, ooh, look, I got you. That's so fucking immature. And it just makes me look bad. I didn't like that at all. Now, had he, for example, showed her her videos once she started making them on Patreon or whatever, that would be a little different. But the girl is literally auditioning. She's holding the name of my company, showing herself like, I want to work for you, and he's sending it to her. We didn't even start working yet. Like, unbelievable. Like, I can't find any excuse for that. But dude, don't take it to offense. Just people are different. Motives of any reasoning for a crime that you did, bro. Then literally anything is a motive. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Anything can be a motive, which is, if everything can be a motive, then nothing's a motive. A motive has to stand out in order to have its category. So, like I just said, if you're having a bad day, someone has braids, oh, that person has braids, and you hit them, your motive is the person had braids. So there's no such thing as a motive in that case if everything's a motive. It doesn't make sense. A motive actually has to be a reason that the average person can understand. The average person is not going to understand, I hit him because he had braids. They say, what's your problem with braids? Or I hit him because he was flirting with my wife. Oh, he's flirting with your wife. That's a motive. Not saying it's a good reason, but it has to actually be something that stands out in which the average person can say, I can see why this person did that. I see. Not saying I agree, but I can see. There's no motive in somebody fucking robbing someone and then that person calling the police on them and then they're mad. They're the one that started shit. You're never going to get it. Like, I don't get it. Looking at, I said in the video they were looking at you as a come up. Your point being, they were fake. No, they weren't fake. They were real. Where's everybody else in the chat? Just one person? They did not rob you. It's an example. So they saw me as a come up, so that's a motive. Our motive, Your Honor, is we robbed him because it looked like he had more money than us. And that's why I can't live around people like you. You say that's a motive. With me minding my business, walking down the street, looking like I may have more money than them, that's a motive for them to rob me. And I'm a snitch, or someone like me is a snitch for calling the police so we can stay free, stay getting money, stay out of prison, and stay getting in trouble. We're labeled something negative because of you. That's why I gotta stay away from people like you. You don't have any logic to that. That is just, it's just a ghetto. I'm not even trying to be mean to you. It's just a ghetto logic that I just stay away from. Like, that's pure. It's like someone saying, I should be able to smash 14-year-olds because they are sexually mature. Now that makes sense in nature, but we live in a civilization where we don't follow nature's rules. And that's where I think you're going with that. You're going with kind of the call of the wild. You gotta be a man. Someone robs you, you gotta be gangster and go get them and fight. I'm not living like you. I'm not living like that. I'm going to travel the world, be prosperous. I'm trying not to end up in a hospital, in prison, or in a funeral too early. I'm calling the police quick. Never said I was a gangster, never said I was a thug, but yet I'm a snitch when you get robbed and you tell the police. That's fucking stupid. I mean, not only is it stupid because it's ignorant, it's also stupid because it's wrong. That's not even what a snitch is. You don't even know what a snitch is. A snitch is someone who does a crime with other people and then tells on them to get less time. So you're even wrong with the definition when you use the word snitch. So you don't know what you're talking about, bro. You just gotta admit you're wrong, and you just keep your mentality, man. Just keep it. They wanted some money, or absolutely. It's not a good reason for robbing people. I get it. Listen to the video. Dude, I'll listen to your video, but I promise you there's no way you can get out of it. It's just your mentality. It's a ghetto-ass mentality. And anyone here who is a logical person will listen to it will know it's just a ghetto mentality, man. And I just hope you grow out of it, because that's horrible. That's exactly why I will never, ever live in the hood again. Never. Never mind living in the hood. Never, ever. Their mentality there is, I mean, I like hip-hop music and some parts of the culture, but I am not living around a bunch of people who think everyone's supposed to be gangster. Everyone's supposed to have a strap. Now I'm living around that dumb shit. I'm living around middle class people. Might have to deal with some racism shit. I'll deal with it. Live around middle class people, have a nice house, not be around motherfuckers calling people snitch when they don't know the definition. I don't want to be around that shit. I grew up around that shit, and it's aggravating. Let them do what they want to each other. I'm staying away from that shit. Loud and I'm staying. And I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about culture. That whole it's just horrible. I'm talking about racism, something that you deny exists. I don't deny racism exists. I even said racism is natural. What do you mean? You told on them. Yes, I told on them. That's not being a snitch. Genius. What do you mean? That's not what a snitch is. What are you talking about? See, that's what I mean. You don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I did. That's not a snitch. You don't know what a snitch is. About my neighbors, they keep getting robbed. That's their problem. All right, I'm not going to go one-on-one with this dude all day, but yeah, I'll check out your video. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'm out. I'm not going with